what's up out there in the world of the internet? What's up, peeps? This is your boy Von B and my man Ricky right here. Got to give ourselves a little bit of a. Oh, that's low. Let me turn it. Oh. All right, turn the applause down a little bit. All right. So before we started, we got in, had a little discussion on the wonders of having cable, and one of our first articles that we're going to talk about. It's a little bit of not necessarily just TV news, but TV news. All right. A bunch of people found out something very interesting right before the USC LSU game that ESPN and DirecTV are having a contract dispute over fees for ESPN.
And that was one
Essentially,
of the victims.
yes, that is part of our previous discussion. It seems to be it is about ESPN, Disney, for the most part, wants everything to remain the same, but people aren't watching cable like that, especially younger people, and so they cannot charge the exact same price that they were charging before when they were a juggernaut. So it cut out right before the game started, right? Is that what happened?
No, it cut out before. It was in the morning. It was like
Oh,
maybe
okay.
noon. I just checked it out and I was like, why is it all black? They block out all four ESPN. If you have DirecTV, you have four ESPN channels.
Mm-hmm.
It was all blocked out. Like, what the fuck?
Well, let's see what Variety does have something to say about that. So, by a Cynthia Littleton. All right, ESPN and other Disney-owned channels have gone dark for DirecTV after the sides failed to come to terms on a new carriage agreement, a business impasse that reflects the broader economic pain spreading throughout the pay TV sector. The blackout coming in on the kickoff weekend of ABC's college football coverage. That's cold though. It's like this is like a mafia hit kind of thing.
They did that last year. The same thing. ESPN did the same thing as last year. It was with Spectrum, I think. It was a Spectrum.
Yeah.
Before the football, one of the big football games, college. Same thing.
All right, so it's kickoff, and a little more than halfway through ESPN's coverage of the U.S. Open tennis tournament, affecting DirecTV's 11 million plus subscribers in the U.S. DirecTV asserted that Disney made the decision to pull the plug as negotiations were on the way. Disney did this. Disney leaders argued that they had no choice when the contract expiration hit Sunday afternoon. Disney maintains that DirecTV balked at paying market rates for its channels and will and deal on deals involving support for its Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN streaming venture. While we're open to offering DirecTV flexibility in terms which we are extended to other distributors, we will not enter into an agreement that undervalues our portfolio of television channels and programs. We must invest significantly to deliver the number one brand in entertainment, news, and sports because that is what our viewers expect and deserve. We urge DirecTV to do what's in the best interest of their customers and finalize a deal that would immediately restore our programming. Wow. Disney said in a statement.
I don't understand ESPN. I know they're getting greedy because they need money.
Yes.
But I'm at DirecTV. How many subscribers? 11 million?
Yeah.
So
Out of 340. 340 million
340?
people. 340 million people in America. 11 million. So that's still 11. So maybe if you knock that down by 3, so you're looking at 100 million households.
ESPN, the one that's screwing themselves. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yes, I know cable's dying, but still, a lot of people have cable.
Yes.
So they're the one that get screwed because if you think about it, DirecTV could kind of say, you know what, we're done with you guys. Because maybe they could do something else, be creative, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
it
then just
sounds like
hold off with ESPN. You know what? We don't want you guys. The hell with you guys. If you decide, Lord, to give us a better deal, then we'll come back. They have to play hardball to basically survive now.
yeah. So what it looked like in the article is that All right, so ESPN really wants to offer you ESPN. I mean, Disney really wants you to offer you ESPN on ESPN Plus, where you get like channel 1, 2, 3, not the last ones, but you get the first two, ESPN
Yeah,
one and
ESPN
ESPN
one,
two.
ESPN two.
That that is where all the sports stuff is. That's where all the what coverage is, and throw in ABC's coverage and all that fun stuff. That's what they want to do. The cable companies are like, no, because we already know we're dying. That'll just stick the knife in deeper and make us die quicker. All of these people, what they're fighting is time. Younger people don't watch cable. Period. 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 End of story. They have no interest in cable TV. None. So they're the ones who are about to buy houses and apartment building, apartment complex, apartments and all that fun stuff. And they are not ordering cable. They are not ordering direct TV, Spectrum, Comcast, none of that stuff. So they're all fighting over a pie that is shrinking smaller and smaller, and whose customer base is getting older and older. It is interesting to watch.
I think the next
You
victim will be Fubu. That's
really?
gonna be that the next victim when they're with the ESPN contract ends with them.
Well, maybe you're right. They are shooting themselves in the foot.
I mean that ESPN has to be grateful that if it was not for cable and direct TV, they would not have been where they're at. Because
Yeah,
basically, cable is the one that made ESPN big. If that's honest true.
right. But it's still a corporation, dude.
No,
And a
I know, but
corporation.
I'm saying they have to understand. The cable could actually destroy ESPN too. If they want to. They the hell with you guys then.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That may be a blessing in disguise, though, because like I said, they want to be able to offer ESPN. If all the cable companies tell them to piss off, then maybe because it's at the end of the contracts, maybe they'll be able to do what they want. It
Mm.
might be too late for that because again, young people don't watch this stuff. They watch highlights and clips on YouTube and on TikTok. They do not watch none. So that's what I said. Is
That's a
there?
non-sports guy, but people want to watch sports. Still, they still want to watch. They don't want to watch unless they only watch the highlights if they're at work or something. But people still want to watch the game.
Yeah, but that's getting to be less and less people who want to. That's why the ratings are
Oh,
going
you just
down
have
for
to
all these
go to
sports
the
too.
old school way, radio.
Yeah.
That's
So
the way I'm thinking about it too. Now I'm thinking about just hearing the radio. I mean, I was used to hearing Chick Hearn and Vince Scully, so why
mhm.
not?
Yeah. So
That still gives you a visual, what's the game, what's going on, and then once you watch the
mhm.
red, then you can see the highlights.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. But what coverage would you get though? Because like it's ESPN radio, so it'll be essentially the same thing. Is that a you don't have to pay a
No,
subscription to
but it's
listen to
still the
ESPN radio?
radio. It's they cover the Lakers and Dodgers.
All right. So you're just talking about local stuff, not
Yeah.
nationwide. Okay.
Well,
All right.
yeah. Whoever has their own local, I'm pretty sure have their own local teams.
Yeah.
I would just hear the radio. Honestly, if that's gonna save me so much money from cable and everything, I'll just hear it on the
Mhm.
radio. I'm used to hearing the radio.
Yeah. I don't know. It is they're just fighting over the scraps of what is left over.
Yeah,
So
and I think
it's
ESPN is gonna get screwed. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, because
Because
Disney
it's
needs
not cable that's dying. ESPN is also dying.
right.
All
Well, they
these
made so
sports
much.
talks and all this stuff, everybody knows fake. All this stuff is fake from ESPN. Everybody knows it's fake. That's why everybody just watching YouTube, normal guys just talking sports. That's it.
This is true. All that high gloss and high shine and all that
Yeah,
stuff. And these
they
people
already
have terrible.
admitted it, right? The sports talk, those guys, they already said. They said how um, it's already they have to disagree, even though they don't like agree, because then the show is not entertainment. So the other guy has to disagree and stuff like that. So it's like they're
But
dying too. So both industries are dying.
but the thing about that though is people don't want to listen to that. It's like you don't necessarily have to agree on everything. But remember I was telling you before, like we had a
No,
conversation
but
about
it's
this before.
if you watch two YouTuber guys and
It's a
just regular
conversation.
guys, that's a real disagreement argument when one guy has a different opinion, this and that. They're being honest.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
this
that's
one,
an
the
actual
ESPN,
conversation.
it's a show. It's just they have to make it. Oh, look, this and that. It's just they're
No, but
making up with lies.
do you remember what I was telling you before? Is people are interested in being part of a conversation.
Hmm.
They're not interested in watching two people argue. That's it's like I watch Gilbert Arenas, but every time they get into this thing where one of them has a like won't give up their point regardless of what anybody else says to them, then it turns into a huge argument. I'm like, dude, I don't want to watch this because then y'all start to look like
Yeah. I
children.
give it Arenas, he just says whatever just so people could watch. He just says just stupid stuff.
Yeah, because
And
like
that's funny too. You know what? He calls some. It's kind of funny because he calls some players like they're trash, and I'm like, dude, you never made it to the final. You never, you never. You make it sound like he was some freaking superstar, but he was just a good scorer. Never played defense, but he always talking to other players about their all their garbage and this and that.
well, look, that is
And
a
you can't
flood
believe
day,
everything they say too on that show. They make up lies. They have their own agendas too. Arenas
right?
has his own agenda.
Right. That's look, what I said was though is in terms of entertainment, the entertainment part, and it could be entertaining because they do have insight.
That's the
And
purpose. It's not really sport. It's entertainment.
right, but they they still come across better than ESPN does. ESPN sounds like it was fine for its time, but that time is past. Just
No,
like
the
the whole
only real credible guy I gave that guy is Martin
Mhm.
and McCann. Uh, the other guy, Arena, he just makes stuff up back and forth. He just
Mhm.
changes back and forth, this and that.
Uh,
He has his own
well,
agenda. Everybody knows he has his agenda.
so everybody does, but
Yeah,
but but
but
back
you
to the
could tell
entertaining.
Martin. He's serious when he says stuff. He's serious when
Yeah.
when they were talking about LeBron James. I think Arena he's gonna be averaging like 30 points, and then Martin said, "Yeah, they'll be losing."
Yeah,
I don't know. If you hear Martin, he looked like he's serious. Can you Martin? He looked like when he says
yeah.
something, he's like really serious about what he's saying. McCann's the same way. He says, even though people they don't like hearing the truth, but he's being honest.
Hmm. Yeah. But like I said, what that's the entertaining part is that comes across regardless of how you feel about whatever their opinions are. It is far more entertaining than what ESPN is offering. And then you get into like the ABC and Freeform is like what is even on those channels. So they're like additions to ESPN, and ESPN is not bringing in the ratings like it used to. And Disney, because Disney needs money, they desperately do not want anything to actually change from how it was to what is becoming. And it's like just going to be just one more voice in a crowd of people. So
Yeah, that's
I
why
it doesn't.
Marcellus Wiley has been telling all those guys that are being released by ESPN, start your own thing.
All right. Well, there is some more to this article though about how Disney is being kind of heavy-handed, which to me is interesting because they don't have the clout that they used to. So it's like, what are you being heavy-handed with? Like, they want DirecTV to weigh future claims that Disney's behavior is anti-competitive. It's like that is a regulatory buzzword designed to pique the interest of DC watchdogs in this now highly public business dispute. Disney and its two large partners in the venue streaming sports bundle venture, Warner Brothers Discovery and Fox Corp, are already in the thick of litigation over the proposed sports service. Now, so this is about the Fubo TV thing.
The reason I
All
think that
right,
ESPN is trying to raise the price because all that
they
money
need
they pay
money.
for the NBA.
Yeah, they need the money, dude.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's
But
just
I hope DirecTV just tells them no way. But there, ESPN has Monday Night Football, so
mm,
that's one thing that people are gonna want. especially Monday
For
Night
now.
Football. Huh?
Yeah, for now. They have it for now. So who like
Yeah, they have it for now. But what I'm saying is they have Monday Night Football, they have the NBA, ABC. So that's the problem with they're trying to hold, and the football games in USC.
Elton
So
needs?
actually, both are gonna get hurt because people are gonna start going to just streaming stuff. They both are gonna lose money.
Well, bro, like I was saying, the younger groups don't watch that. It's just is it is like to them it's old technology. They are
No,
not.
I know, but the older people are getting smart now. They're getting away to K when they're going to some streaming stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you get what you mean, but the problem with that is like once you get to a certain age, they no longer actually care whether or not you're watching because you don't buy stuff. And the most important thing about any of this stuff is whether or not you buy. Like they can advertise to you. That's what they care about. They don't necessarily care. Like you can watch it all day. That's great. But if you don't go out and give money to the people who are giving them more, like a lot of money, they don't care. That's why when they always talk about TV shows, they talk about the demographics, and that's 18 to 40 something. More emphasis on the 20s because that's when you have a lot of discretionary money and you spend it a lot. So
But there's
they're
always ways to watch, right? If you don't have ABC, just go to a regular TV.
yeah. So
You
you
can
can
have
just
ABC,
yeah, you just get an
and then
antenna.
Monday Night Football. Either you can get some streaming thing,
Hmm.
or you're there on the radio.
Yeah.
So
So
there's still ways.
yeah, so it's interesting. All right. So I there's a new Jurassic Park coming out, right?
No, but anything Jurassic Park is pretty good.
All right, so let's get into this particular to shift gears. All right, share this article. It's another article by Variety. All right, it's called Jurassic World Rebirth. First look: Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey keep the dinosaurs franchise roaring. I have no idea how. Like I don't like what could they possibly do? This should have ended with the second movie. Everything after the second movie has been increasingly trash. It's like, yeah, it's nice to look at the technology and whatnot, but it's just like this stuff is getting worse and worse. And the last time it was supposedly ended, we had dinosaurs all over the planet, and people were just okay with dinosaurs just being there.
I think that they're trying to put more famous actors into it, so more they could see people go watch it.
Well, I guess has officially reached the first look at Jurassic World Rebirth, the seventh film in the 31-year-old. Jeez, 31 years. Marshall Ali. So this is the movie that he's kind of blowing off Blade for. It's like so he's gonna do this, and while they get their crap together for Blade. All right. So it's good
I don't
directed by
think the last one did that good, huh? The last Jurassic Park it didn't do that good.
no, because it started to get it got ridiculous in three, and then like Chris, which particular Chris it is? Can't remember what his name is. Star Lord. His was like even more ridiculous. So that last one was just like terrible. Then you had the folks from the first one, like the older group, in the that one, and it was just coinky dink and all that kind of stuff, which is terrible writing. All right. So, according to the official summary, the film will be set 5 years following the events of Jurassic World Dominion, when the planet's ecology has proven largely oh, yeah, inhospitable to dinosaurs. No crap, because the world that they existed in was different. It was more, I think it was more oxygen or something like that. It was and more carbon dioxide. Then those remaining exist in isolated equatorial environments and with climates resembling the one in which they once thrived. The three most colossal creatures within that tropical biosphere hold the key to a drug that will bring a miraculous life-saving benefits to humankind. Studio also revealed details about Many of the characters in the film, Johnson's character is a covert ops expert named Zora Bennett, who has been hired to lead the team extracting DNA from the three most gargantuan dinosaur species left alive. Ali plays Zora's partner, Duncan Kincaid. Bailey plays a paleontologist named Dr. Henry Loomis, and Rupert Fred Homeland plays Martin Krebs, the representative of the drug conglomerate found in the expedition. Okay, so this sounds like they're going back to the second, like how the second one was, right?
They should just do like a prequel, right? Like before, remember from the first one how it started? Well, how did the dinosaurs were in that island? And
Well,
like how did they survive still? Like before the first one, like a prequel.
all right. So, if you ever read the actual books for these for that these movies came from?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so in the books, all right, you know how they made like the old guy? He was this nice, sweet, like grandfather character.
Uh-huh.
In the book, he's not like that. In the book, he's like the guy who played his nephew in the second one. That's how he acts. So he's a ruthless businessman. He's not this nice, like we're gonna change the world type of guy, right? And the second one, they had aspects of the second movie in that was part of the book, but they kind of combined a lot of stuff. So what happened is that out of the island, it just nature took care of itself. Where they had enough trees, and because they made trees and they made like everything. So they made an environment for the dinosaurs. So you had the herbivores who ate the trees, and then you had the carnivorous ones who ate the herbivores, and then everybody pooped, and that kept the the system working. So if they would have left, if they would left them alone, they would just been on that island. Now the problem is like you got the ones that fly, and that turns into a whole issue. And I'm trying to remember if they had. I don't think they had that in the second book where they had the pterodactyls, because that would be very stupid to make them, because their territory is the entire planet. They just fly over to the warm sections, and they go for thousands and thousands of miles. So it'd be very stupid to make something like that. And they really they leaned into the kiddie stuff because it's Steven Spielberg, and that's. But they actually explained, like Michael Crichton, that's who wrote the books, actually explained how all this works. And like if they would have just did those two, but Steven Spielberg is not gonna make, because it was more of an adult orientated story, not so much for
Yeah,
kids.
I just remember the first and second. The other ones I really don't remember.
Yeah, the second one was the kid was with the boyfriend, and the boyfriend like was one of them guys who got off on danger, so they decided to
That's
go
the
to
one
the
with the
island.
plane crash.
Yeah, they decided to go to the island, and the kid was
They're trying to
surviving.
rescue him with the parent. They lied to the guy, and then
Right.
yeah, I remember those two.
Yeah, no, that's the third one. So the third one that he was, and this is when it started to get kind of ridiculous. The kid was surviving on his own for like a month or so, and then as soon as his parents showed up, he kept getting almost killed every 5 minutes. And then it was getting chased around by an allosaur or something. So yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah, and then so this sounds like it's heading back to how the first two were. Whereas like you have a like the second movie, how they're going to a place where they're all at, and they're gonna try to survive and get this thing.
Hmm.
And I guess Scarlett Johansson will just be Scarlet Witch, well not Scarlet Witch, will be Black Widow
Hmm.
in the Jurassic World universe. So it should be interesting. I don't know. It can't get no worse than it has been. Like the last one. The last one was just
That was kind of dumb. The last one, I didn't think it was that good.
yeah, because it wasn't. You had the girl boss pilot chick, and you had the like his what some one of their kids or something was stuck, and then everyone happened to magically appear all in the same place. It was kind of like
No,
okay,
I'll still watch it if it comes out.
yeah, it should be. Like I said, it should be interesting. All right, so the Marvel is celebrating its 85th anniversary. All right, so they put out a video. All right, see if I can share this. All right, it's on Twitter. Hopefully, it'll play well.
Like asking a parent who's his favorite child. I think I love them all.
I often look back at the early 60s in the famous Marvel bullpen with Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and Steve Ditko creating Spider-Man, the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four. House of Ideas. It's called that for a reason.
In the comic books and in the movies, story is always the most important element.
That's my secret, Cat. I'm always angry.
One thing I think that we've innovated is overlapping characters and stories.
What the hell are you guys?
Marvel is this massive canvas through which all of our humanity is explored.
People who have grown up with these comic books, they've known these characters for their whole lives.
To me, my X-Men.
And now there's this new generation meeting them for the first time.
Here you have the chance to be part of something much bigger than yourself. I waited a long time for this team up.
Can you imagine the fun, chaos?
Shut up.
Oh my God. The storytelling reaches to the heart of various age ranges and cultures.
Symbols are nothing without the women and men that give them meaning. Today, we look to the future.
I've always tried to do stories that the characters have human qualities anybody can relate to.
Let's go!
And of course, I can't leave without saying Excelsior.
Man, I started looking at some of the clips from the early movies. Dude, like, is once you get used to seeing crap, when you see something that's really good, gives you like this fond memory of what used to be. You know, well, they used to like.
I mean, Star Wars is already dead as hell, and Marvel was still on life support.
Yeah. So, when you look at that, and you show clips of what used to be, and then you also show clips of what they're doing now. It's like, bro, you're so far away from appealing to the masses. It's not even funny. So this next year is going to be Agatha. Like, don't care about that. It's going to be African American man, Captain American, African, whatever. Sam, I would much prefer that they would have made a Falcon movie. All right, if they would have made that a Falcon movie, I would much prefer that than trying to squeeze him into a Captain America.
No, I thought I would have done the Falcon movie better.
Right, and it's like, so all right.
They could have done the Falcon movie, and then Chris Evans shows up as Captain America. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just give him $100 million, and I'm pretty sure he'll do it.
Yeah, I'm quite sure. All right, so so to give you a couple of looks at what they're coming up with. All right. So these were the Thunderbolts. So you got Bucky. This is Ghost from the second Ant-Man movie. This is Crimson Dynamo, basically the Russian Captain America. Right, and this is the White Widow, or the new Black Widow for Marvel.
Is that the sister of the Black Widow?
Yeah.
The one that came out on the Black Widow, right? That was her sister?
Right. Well, yeah. So And this is the guy who is like they look at like a father, all right?
Mhm.
So most people would have they would know who he is. They won't know who he is. Like that movie did okay, but people probably won't remember that. A lot of people didn't go see the movie with these two. So you're gonna have a movie with one or two guys that people have even heard of in it.
Who's the guy in the
So
back? Captain America? Is that Agent
right,
Captain America?
yeah, that's the U.S. agent. So
Oh,
that is the basically when Cap gave up being um, Captain America, they gave it to this guy in the comics. And then when Captain America got his stuff back, he just became a U.S. agent. He's kind of like Captain America, but a bit more aggressive.
right.
Yeah, more violent. So Daredevil. So the Daredevil TV show that's coming out, and Red Hulk, which looks suspiciously like the Green Hulk, same chest hair thing going on, but it has Harrison Ford's face on it. So, like, none of this stuff sounds like it's going to be any kind of pleasant.
Mm-mm.
And they're still going to put Ironheart out. Nobody wants to watch that. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to give two craps about Ironheart or Agatha, to be honest.
If they were smart, if they were, no, I don't think there are, but I'll
Mhm.
pull Blade with Deadpool, Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, that's
I'll bet you that'll be a hit.
yeah, dude. Like people when Deadpool first came out, people were very pushing for Old Man Blade, just like that Logan movie. Like make one of those
I
for
know,
Blade.
but if they put Blade with Deadpool, I think that'll
Mhm.
be bad. I think that shit will be another $1 billion right there.
Yeah, depending on what like. But you
I
know,
think
is it?
Deadpool's beating all the Avengers right now. He's like the main guy now. Now while Chris Evans now Captain America, it's Deadpool.
Well, they're supposed to do a Avengers movie, and the question is, well, are the Avengers you're gonna have in this movie? Like,
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
Captain America and Black Panther are not there.
all the your more favorite. So we still have Doctor Strange, we still have Spider-Man, but I'm not sure how much Sony is willing to play ball with Marvel about Spider-Man because they have control over him, so they can decide what Tom Holland can do. And from what I've heard, at the end of the last Spider-Man movie, they were setting up to be him more grounded. Like
I know
it's
how
a
they could do
neighborhood
it.
Spider-Man. No, it's
Bring
like
back Chris
no,
Evans.
no. I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna like. What Sony wants them to do with Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man. They ended the movie with him being more grounded. Like so, all the Spider-Man fans were very happy about how he's gonna basically be the regular Spider-Man without all the Iron Man stuff. But apparently, they're gonna do some multiverse thing in Spider-Man 4 because they threw whatever script they had out, and they're gonna do something completely different. There have been rumors about Chris Evans because what they're doing with um, Robert Downey Jr. He can be a variant from some whatever because that's what they opened the door with the Loki series. It's like he can just if he decides to come back, hey, this is Captain America from such and such Earth.
Yeah, I because if you think about it, if you could bring Chris Evans back as Captain America, and then break Iron Man, and then you bring Thor. The only question would be the Black Panther. You could put like the son of Black Panther, and just put a black actor as the son of
They
the
need to
Black
do.
Panther.
They need to do what Chadwick Boseman wanted them to do. Recast another. He wanted it to be
Yeah,
like
that's what
James
I'm
Bond.
saying. But remember,
That's
he
what
had
he
a
wanted.
son. He had a son.
No, not his son. He what he wanted was in him to be like James Bond. That a actor plays him for 4 movies, then you recast the actor to another James Bond, and then you make more Black Panther movies with the new guy, not his son. So he's just a Black Panther. And what they should have done, and they were trying to pretend that like they didn't want to disrespect, Chadwick Boseman, but that's his brother came out and said, no, he wanted you to recast the character so that the character, because nobody would really be interested in his kid. Nobody's not really going to be interested in his sister as Black Panther. So you can just get somebody.
That was a bad movie too. The second one.
Dude, the fact that like none of them thought about the fact that you made the the Mexican Namor weakness be his wet back. It's like,
Oh, you're
really?
trying
None
to
of
throw
y'all.
insults or what?
No, that's basically what his weakness was. It's like
Oh,
if his
that's an
back
insult
get.
right there already, man.
That's what
You
I'm
know that's an
saying.
insult when you say that.
Yeah, I understand that, but the fact that they made this dude have his weakness be the fact that you dried his back off, it's like, so none of y'all thought about this when y'all made the decision to make that his weakness.
But is
And
he
then
a Mexican? He's Mayan.
well, I mean, like he's, I mean,
Can you
he's
say
from
that? I don't think that's a Mexican. You can't say he's a Mexican. It's a Mayan.
oh, he's from that general area. How's that? Because he's like
No, it's a Mayan.
Okay.
Not Mexican.
So
you
isn't
can't say he's a Mexican. He's a Mayan.
okay. So, but his people are from where? It's from the area of what is now Mexico, right?
Still, but it's not Mexican. They're Mayan.
Okay. Well, he's
Mexico
Mayan.
was made by Spaniards. They're their own. They're Mayan.
Okay. All right. I will give you that.
Do you consider Apaches Americans?
The ones who live here now, yeah.
But they'll say they're Apache.
Okay.
You know how indigenous are.
Yes, I know. They're in my family. Yes, I know. So, but I'm just saying is that just like with the Wonder Woman thing and how she had sex with some dude's body without his permission, and like nobody who made the movie realized that, it's the same thing. It's like, why would you make that his weakness? It's kind of strange, but that's
It was
just
just stupid. Also the last battle when they fight each other, they're like, "She killed your mom," and then you're like acting out like he's all friends.
Yeah, it was poorly written.
He went to you and killed your mom, and then at the last, you're friends with them. What the hell?
Yeah, it was very stupid because
So
first of all,
that was a stupid movie.
no, dude. First of all, he
And
shouldn't
I'm
have
a
been.
big fan of Black Panther. The first one, I thought it was
Yeah.
good, but the second one was just terrible.
Yeah, because this was when Disney's was in their all new, all different. Because all new, all different is when they changed all the characters. So that's when they made Falcon, Captain America. That's when they made Jane Foster into Thor. That's when they made they really started pushing Miles Morales and all this other stuff. So that's when all that shit happened. All right. But all right, so the first Avengers movie is called Doomsday. All right, so it's about Doctor Doom. The second one is Secret Wars. All right, so what Secret Wars is about is they wanted Marvel wanted to kill off their Ultimate line. That is where Miles Morales came from. He was the Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe because Peter Parker was supposedly dead. He wasn't, but he was supposedly dead. So he took over as Spider-Man in that universe. They decided that they no longer wanted to continue with that, but they liked Miles Morales so much that they wanted to bring him over to the Marvel universe, which is a 616. They basically renamed the MCU to 616, which is weird because it wasn't. So that's a whole nother topic. So Doctor Doom got cosmic powers where he controlled like everything, right? So he got Beyonder powers. The Beyonder is the bad guy for the first Secret Wars, where he collected all these villains and he collected all these heroes, and he wanted them to fight, right? So the second one, Doctor Doom remade the world in his image because he got, like I said, he got cosmic powers, and he had the Molecule Man, who also had cosmic powers.
So he's going to be the villain?
Right, yeah. So
what happened to Kane? What happened to Kane?
Jonathan Majors got arrested. That's what happened to Kane. So when they
What's wrong with
offered,
that guy? What's wrong with them?
no,
Is
he
he on
got into a
drugs or
no,
alcohol?
he got into a fight with his ex girlfriend,
Uh,
and because we were at the end of the Me Too stuff, even though it looked like it was a mutual thing, and they got to the point where they had video of him walking away from her, and she was following him or whatever. So it was like a mutual messed up evening, right?
so
He
he's
got
done with No More Kane.
he lost that. He lost multiple movies, endorsements, all kind of stuff. He lost a lot of shit.
Well, they could put somebody else, right? Another cast for Kane.
That is no, they because the people didn't connect with Kang because they like with Kang because they kept having him lose. It's like they don't know how to write villains. So you look at how they did Thanos, and then you look at how they did Kang. Kang kept losing. He lost to Ant-Man, he lost to Ants, he lost to this person, he lost to that person. Just like what they did with Admiral Thrawn. It's like
Mhm.
I'm supposed to believe that this person is a threat, but he keeps losing to random people. That doesn't make him a threat. That just makes him look weak. So they did the same thing with Kang. So people were like, they weren't really feeling Kang. So they're gonna. It looks like they're gonna do Doomsday. Doomsday is gonna lead into like with the Fantastic Four. All that's gonna lead into Secret Wars, and that is how they can pull in because at the end of Secret Wars, and this is what I was telling you about it. At the end of Secret Wars, Miles Morales was in the 616 because Molecule Man liked him, and so he recreated him into the newly created 616. So
Imagine,
and
just imagine if they have Chris Evans, right?
I'm trying to tell
Iron
you
Man.
that this is how they can do this, okay? Because that's what happened with this movie. I mean, with this particular thing, they basically put his mother, his father, everyone. So as far as like his friends, everybody into the 616. So his best friend, Janky exists. All them people exist in the 616 because the Molecule Man and at the end of this thing. So they can do the exact same thing in the movie where you get someone being with cosmic power and he decides to recreate the world in his image. And the newly created world will probably have mutants and probably have the Fantastic Four and probably have all of these people, and they will go from there as the new beginning. So then you can recast because it's like you can recast all these characters with new people. They just look slightly different. Because all it really would take is like the further you go back into your genetic pool, there's more and more people. All right. So imagine if everybody except for like one person gets with the people who they're supposed to get with, that eventually makes you. So that one person, if you go back far enough, won't have that much of an effect on what you look like, but it could be like a little bit. So where and it's just different decisions what happen to what effect of how you would be. So then you can say, hey, well, this is what he looks like now. And because you can do that, and I've heard a lot of people speculating that is why they're doing it like that. So if you wanted Chris Evans back, you could bring him back. So you do a
Imagine,
combination.
but just imagine you put new Avengers, right? Just say you have Deadpool,
Mhm,
Wolverine, Chris Evans back,
mhm.
Iron Man, and then Thor. Who's the other one? Incredible Hulk. That'd be a badass
Mhm.
Avengers right there.
Yeah, I mean, if you
You
do the
have
new
to bring
Avengers,
those
also has
guys
Spider
back.
Man.
You have to bring those actors back.
But
And I
but
think
they gotta
that,
want to do it,
oh,
dude.
Blade.
They
Don't
gotta,
forget about Blade.
yeah, but they gotta want to do it. So Blade is in the Avengers in the comics, like in the later
Yeah.
ones.
But you're talking about Wesley Snipes, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Deadpool. All these guys, actors that people love. People want to see them. Wolverine and shit.
All right, but you got to keep in mind of the people who are writing this stuff. So they got to get rid of all of those people because there is no way in hell that the Blade movie
Well, it looks
they
like they're
should be
doing
working.
it.
Well, the Blade movie should have been out, and they should be working on the second one right now. Because this was like 5-6 years
I
ago
think
when
they're
they announced
just
it.
fighting with these idiots. They want to put their input in stupid stuff.
Right, but it's the same. But that's what they do with every damn thing that's out right now. Has these stupid idiots who think that they can outdo the people who created stuff before them. So that's why when you wind up with the idea of a Blade movie where its focus is not on Blade but on his on his daughter and like a bunch of other women. It's like, dude, nobody want. We have at this point we're at the point where if you don't know that people don't want this shit, something is wrong with you. You now you can, before you can pretend like, yeah, maybe if we just do it right. Like, no, people do, because like it's like with the Furious thing. Apparently that was a good movie. Nobody went to go see it because people are tired of girl bosses.
I didn't want.
They're even what? Apparently she's not even a girl boss in the movie. But people are so tired of.
It looks stupid. That one looks stupid to me.
Bro, this like people are already over the Jurassic Park thing for the most part. And if you do another, no, even if it's Scarlett Johansson, it's like, bro, I don't want to see another 5'2" chick beating up like 6'5" Russians anymore. I don't want to see that because you keep doing it over and over and over again, and just like it just looks phonier and phonier and phonier the more you do it, because you don't know how to write a compelling thing. And so before we go, we still got to talk about the wonderfulness that is the Rings of Power. All right. So how much of it do you like of the 3 episodes? How much of it do you actually remember?
I watched all 3.
No, just like, do you? All right. So we just have a little quick review. So what do you think of all 3 together?
It was boring.
Like too much talking, too much. They had a little bit actually.
There was too much talking. Like when we watch House of Dragons, even though it's not a lot of action, but you can feel it, the tension and stuff like that. How how it's going, and Rings of Power is like, what the hell? It's just boring.
It is the difference.
I fell asleep in the first episode.
It is the difference between it's the writing. I was telling Elton about this. Like basically, this should be the Rings of Coincidence, because there's so much coincidence. Like they just coincidentally this happened. It's like when it starts off with
Saruman, right? You know that,
right? So it looks like they spent money on it. So unlike the Acolyte, it actually looks like they spent some money on this thing. So like it starts off with Saruman giving a speech or whatever it is to the orcs, and
they backstab and they stab them.
Right, so I'm looking at like, why is he dressed like that? He looks like he looks weird. The speech he's giving is weird, and it's like, and he just completely does not seem to notice that the orcs are not feeling what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. That was dumb there too.
Right, so he gets stabbed, and then he Elton is chiming in. So he gets stabbed. His blood somehow manages to make it all the way down to a puddle at the bottom of the mountain. And I was looking at this dude who was given who knows way more about this stuff than I do, because I read the books, so I'm kind of going at this more like a normie than anything. It's like I read the book, so I did the synopsis of the first season, so I have a general idea who the characters are. All right, so I am looking from this person who doesn't. I'm not deep into this, so it's just as a TV show. So as a TV show, it's like it's a lot of stuff. The dude goes all the way down the mountain. He gets formed to this blob thing. He eats a bunch of stuff. Then so first it took me a second to figure out what the hell was going on. Like, who the hell is this dude? And like, why is he? Then it's like, oh, okay, so this is a prologue. Well, why don't you say that? But it's like, no, they didn't say it. So I'm confused as hell. I was like, what the hell? I was like, because all the orcs and the dude that he's talking to looks exactly the same as they do in the future. So it looks like he's talking like now. So like, well, why does Sauron why does he look like this? And then you get all this other stuff as he's becomes a human, or looks like he does in the first season. Then he so happens to meet the guy who has the one thing that he needs to pull off his little scheme to be a king. I'm like, okay, that's coincidence. Then he goes into the ship, and then a Leviathan comes along and breaks the ship up. So the guy is dying, so he takes the shit. So okay, that's a coincidence. And then he gets back on the raft, and it just so happens to be that the spot that the Leviathan killed, like broke the ship up, was the exact spot he needed to be for Galadriel to swim over to where he's
That's
at.
what a lot of people are talking about. This so dumb. That's what a lot of people are upset about it.
Right, so it's like it's just coincidence after coincidence after. I'm like, bro, it's like okay, I give you one of these things, but you all of this. That's not how anything works, man. But it's just bad writing. And then the fact that you get into the second one, in order for the elves to get these rings, they had to be lobotomized. Like everybody is stupid. It's like, all right, so you know that Sauron is the one who helped make these damn rings, but you're gonna use them anyway. I'm like,
Yeah, because he
why?
became an imposter, right? Like an elf.
Right, but they
He
know
was like
who.
undercover.
Right, but they know like the guy who helped them make the rings. So Elrond is like, dude, like he's the only like, why are we using these things? Because Sauron actually helped make these things. Maybe we shouldn't use them. And everybody's like,
And that was
so all the elves,
in season 1 when he told
right?
them
So
to make the ring.
right, so all the elves are like, we're gonna use them anyway. I'm like, what? That's
Yeah, and
stupid. Like,
once you
why
put
would
the
you
ring,
like?
you're being you could be manipulated by Sauron, and they still put the
Right,
ring
which is
on.
basically what Elrond's. Right. So, like I said, they cannot write a bad guy well enough, so they have to make everybody stupid.
Yeah, I agree
It's
with you. I thought it was gonna be better season 2,
Mhm.
and I was like, I was disappointed.
Bro.
I
All
was
right.
trying to be
So,
open minded. I was just trying to be open minded. I was thinking it would be much better,
mhm.
and I was watching it, and I'm like, come on, man. Okay, let me
No. All
see.
right. All right. So this is how you do this. So you make Saruman like so he the whole Mordor thing. He's hidden up with his army or whatever. Right. He's sending them out to attack people. He's also having them collect individuals. So he possesses one, sends them on to go and you use that one to get another person, to get another person, to get another person, and you infect everyone. So eventually you get to the point where you have someone under your control who is over there while they're making the rings. The person does not have to be the person in charge. He just needs to be a person who helped make the molds. So then you affect the mold of the rings. So whenever you put into the mold, that becomes affected by what you did with the mold. So the elves would not know that you had any effect on anything. So then they don't have to be stupid. But by you doing what you did, the dude, the smithy guy, basically doesn't like the guy, doesn't like Hildebrand or whatever his name is, or Sauron, but then changes his mind completely when the guy just tells him something, and then you're just like, okay.
They could
And
have
then
just made this. What were they? Warner Brothers. You said they own the rights, right?
Warner Brothers own the rights to the Lord of the Rings. Amazon has the rights to the Silmarillion, like a little part of it. So you
I mean,
can
they would
tell
have
these
been better.
stories,
They
but
would have
like,
made a movie, a movie and make it a 3-part movie like Lord of the Rings. I thought it would have been much better.
well, it's like, look,
The
you
only
can
scenes that are
still.
pretty bad are like some of the short battle scenes. You know what I mean? Those are pretty good.
All right, so remember I was telling you that this is supposed to take place over thousands of years.
Mhm.
All right,
The Second
thousands of
Age.
years. Right, so they squished it down into and they won't tell you how long anything takes, so you have no idea what is taking
And
place and
supposedly the
who.
wizard shouldn't be there, right? The Second Age.
Right, so it is they're squishing everything down and they're adding everything on, so it just becomes confusing. So again, from a normal person who is not, so I understand that the people who are super fans of this are absolutely livid about all the crap that they're doing. So from the outside of that, I'm just looking at this as a TV show, a regular TV show. It's a TV show about elves, and it's like, so I know enough about story. I'm like, dude, this is stupid. Like, why are you doing that? That's stupid. Oh, I'm like, okay, so you need this to happen, so it just happens.
Then it was
Like
so
that's
dumb with that wizard with the 2 little hobbits or the
yeah,
Horfits. So
yeah. So
so
yeah,
dumb.
because it's not Gandalf, and these are not
Well, it
Samwise.
is Gandalf,
Yeah, so is
but
the
it looks so dumb. It was just like he acts all dumb like the wizard, and
okay.
then
So all right, so you got the trackers, or the assassin, whatever the hell these things are, for some reason decide to get off their, like they're riding horses that causes them to, that's caused the not Gandalf and the two little not hobbits to flee from what they're doing. So one of them was setting up a fire, right? So you got like, they didn't light it yet, but so you got trackers who decide for whatever reason to get off their horses right where they're at. Why they did that, I have no idea, but they did. So any kind of tracker who can get to the spot and look around, it looks like a camp was here because they didn't brush anything up. They just grabbed their shit and ran. So there would be footprints all over the place, all that, right? But trackers don't notice. One kills a snake. The snake falls down in front of this
desert. They leave tracks.
Right, and is right. So the snake falls, and the snake is looking at something behind, which is obviously a net. It's not grass. So it's, but the big bad assassin dude somehow doesn't notice that that's a net there.
No, but remember the Hobbits have that camouflage thing that they use to cover themselves, and it's a camouflage.
Yeah, I get that, but from what they showed, it looked like a net. So it didn't look like unless it's magic. So the dude's like looking right
like
at
their
it.
own magic. Remember, what was the guy, the Hobbits on the Lord of the Rings, when they cover themselves up? They do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I you watched the first season, so I'll okay, but I'm just going off of what I saw in terms of what it looked like. So it looked like it's just a regular net. So it looks funny. Like, how does he not see that? So if it's magic, okay, you need a better. Don't assume that everybody watched the first season. So it's like you do a better job of hiding that. It's like you're an assassin or whatever the hell these things are. Why is this snake looking into this hole and not paying attention to me who just knocked it off? So if I knocked it off the thing and I'm looking for people and the snake doesn't hiss at me, but it hisses at whatever in front of it, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to look at whatever the hell the snake is looking at. But no, he just killed the snake. I'm like, okay. So you got that, and then the friggin' horse. Do you remember the horse?
The one with the
Isildur's horse.
Looks for his owner.
Right. So Isildur's horse, who couldn't be tamed by the people who it knew. Right. So they let it go. It runs across to Mordor, and it's like it acts like more like a dog than a horse. Somehow sniffs him out inside this cave, fights off the spiders in the cave, does all this stuff. They eventually get to the point where he gets more gear for the horse. He picks up a chick. They get ambushed, and then the horse decides after it killed orcs and did all this other stuff to let these humans just lead it off away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
that's only the best scene was right there when the black elf comes out. Like, that's only best scene right there.
Right, but it's just so. It is an example of them wanting a thing to happen, but they're having no idea how to make it actually work. From like, dude, there was a scene where the orcs throw a rope on the horse, right? So the next scene, like as it runs away, it's dragging this long cord that is like dragging on the ground because that's what the orc was holding. The next scene, it's just dangling from from its neck, and then the next thing after that, there's no more rope.
How many episodes is it?
I don't know.
Episodes. We're already seeing
Top
3.
of my head. All right. I don't know. You got me, dude. I'm probably gonna look it up. Is it 8 again?
Real quick. It should be 8 or 9.
You saw what having 8 or 9, or having 8 for the House of Dragon did, ended in a cliffhanger that people didn't like because they didn't get the battle that you was kind of promising. So it just is. It is coincidence after coincidence after coincidence.
It says 8.
Okay, so it's 8. So we got 5 more episodes. Okay, so the next one's. So I did watch the teaser, I guess, for the preview of the season. So of course, Sam, the Sam chick, who's like not Sam, but is Sam. She's kissing some girl, so of course she's gay, because of course. Then the dwarves get infected with so they get all the rings, and that's another thing. The dwarf's son was bothered by the fact that Elrond was not there and didn't trust the guy, and then until he trusted him. So like he went to go talk to his father, and now he trusts the guy to give him these rings. So again, it's like everybody is stupid. If they would have did it more with subterfuge where they didn't know who he was, then they don't have to be stupid. They just got tricked.
Yeah, they're also making Elrond look like stupid too.
Yeah, everyone is stupid.
Except Galadriel.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you can't. The fact that all right, so when she's in the meeting talking with the High King, and she's having a vision. So in the vision, it's like all this stuff is happening, and like, so he asks her like what's up with you or whatever, and she don't tell him. I'm like, okay, Elrond just said that you could have there could be something wrong with the rings. You're having visions of your friend being killed by a creeping vine, and you don't tell anybody that you're having these visions. So you're rubbing on the ring, and then I noticed that the king is rubbing on the ring too every time anybody mentions anything about how the ring may be bad. So maybe he's having visions too. So nobody is telling anybody else about these weird experiences that they're having because of these rings.
Give it right now a 3 out of 10. That's better than the Acolyte. At least I give it that.
Yeah, it like the foolishness in the writing is nowhere near as bad as the foolishness in the Acolyte. The Acolyte was just on a whole nother level of foolish. So the fact that the actress who is the lead character for that can't figure out why it was canceled, I'm like, okay. Just like, all right, whatever, dude. But so how many episodes they're gonna show for next week? Is it just one?
Think one, only one. No, just one.
Okay. So I can't imagine it's gonna get that much better, but it's better. It's not atrocious like the Acolyte. It's on par, I think, with Ahsoka. Just a lot of like.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Just kind of a lot of like, really? That's what we going with? Really? Okay. It seems kind of.
I know it's gonna be bad, but I just want to see just the battle scenes. The hell with the rest.
Well, I think Agatha is coming out. I think at the end of the month or something like that. So that'll be something else to look at.
What they said is 5 episodes, Rings of Power.
Yeah. So
5 seasons.
5 seasons.
Mm-hmm. That's their plan.
5 seasons.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have the backing, so it doesn't matter make more. If it doesn't make no money, it doesn't matter. They have the backing of Amazon.
Well, I'm just trying to think of like, all right, so the whole point is that they're gonna probably tell all the stuff like the battles or whatever from the Lord of the Rings, where they defeated Sauron for that time. So they're gonna lead up to that, I would think. Where Isildur doesn't throw the ring into the
volcano.
The volcano, yeah. So I'm assuming that's what they're gonna go up to, and that's gonna be how it ends, because after that point it is relative peace because they think Sauron is dead and they wiped out pretty much all the orcs. Oh, what did you think of the the fact that they're making the orcs refugees and they're trying to humanize them?
It looks stupid. That's what I'm saying.
So like, why? Like,
I'm just disappointed. That's all.
Bro, it is. These people have no clue how to tell a story. How to tell a story with a bad guy. With a bad guy is a bad guy. All right, remember I was telling you about the Guardians of the Galaxy, and people were getting upset that the High Executioner was doing animal testing.
Uh-huh.
Like he's the bad guy. He's doing bad guy stuff. So yeah,
It's just fictional.
and he's the bad guy. It's like, yeah, he's evil. Evil is evil. Just this is how you write a villain so that he's hard to beat, but when your hero eventually beats him is in an actual accomplishment. And he's not he's three-dimensional to the point where he has his own reasoning for doing what he's doing. It's just that he's bad. That's it. He's a bad person. I don't need to know about orc babies and his orc wife and how he feels bad about, like, they're terrified of Sauron. And I'm like, I don't need to know any of this stuff. This does not help the actual story. I guess they're trying to say that everybody's a victim or whatever. I'm like, okay, but that does not make for a compelling story. So right now where we're at is all your protagonists are stupid. So, and Sauron is just getting away with stuff because everybody is stupid.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's what's going on.
So it's like, wow. Okay, so when's the next episode? Is it Thursday or Wednesday? When did these come on? Thursday. So I guess that's what I'll be watching Thursday. But yeah, it's not as bad as the Acolyte. Yeah, it's on par with Ahsoka. It's not good, but it's not shit. There's no lesbian space witches singing, chanting about the power of one and the power of two. And the power,
they're trying to have the same character: the elves, the dwarves, all this stuff, the hobbits, wizard. But they like the rights. They don't have the rights, but they're trying to do this. But just I'm not feeling it.
They just need better writers, dude. If they had better writers, then they could have did this better. You could have had 5 seasons where you had.
Well, they do season 2, right? And then they could change the writer for season 3 or no? Whether those writers already under contract for those seasons.
They're like the showrunners. So yeah, no, the showrunners are like they're the ones who are the head writer. So it is all going through them. You can get different writers.
No, I don't think Amazon really cares. So they have so much.
No, they cares because they wanted this to be their Game of Thrones, and it's not. So they spent all this money, and they're not getting their investment back.
So just say the season 2 sucks, right? You think they'll get rid of the writers?
Anything's possible. It depends on how badly.
That's what I'm saying.
How badly it sucks.
It really sucked for $1 billion that they're spending. Because I don't think Amazon is like Disney, right? They want to make money.
Well, they're making money off of the people buying stuff on their site.
I know. So, but they're more into not agenda. They're more in their business.
They do have no, because they do have agenda, and it is usually the showrunners that they hire who have the agendas. But Amazon, like Netflix, is willing to pull the plug quick. So
hopefully,
right.
I mean, they can still save it, but we'll see. Let's see how it ends.
Yeah, dude, they should have did it like how apparently it is in the books, where it's just a bunch of vignettes, stories that pushes the story along. But it happens at different time periods where the elves will stay the same because they're pretty much immortal. So you can have the same elves for but this takes place over 1,000 years. And like the dwarves are long lived, so you can keep most of the dwarves. It's just only the people who would change the most will be even the Numenorians live for a long time. So you can kind of get away with that a little bit. So only people who would kind of age out will be like the regular humans. Everybody else is either immortal or very long lived. So you can just have still told your little stories within the overall story that leads up to that. But
they can never follow a damn book. They always have to make up their own shit.
Yeah, because they think that they're better than the writer. Dude,
they just their ego. Like I could do it better.
Yeah, and they legit at Lucasfilm. They legit think that the original Star Wars is sexist and sexist, homophobic, and racist. They legit think that. So that's why they're like,
I'm not gonna watch that new Star Wars.
I think that's for children.
I'm not watching that.
It's like, all right. So when I watched the synopsis thing, one of the things they kept showing was the chick who plays the black elf, which in itself is kind of dumb, but that's another thing. She kept talking about how to make this more inclusive, right? To reach more people. And I'm like looking at the TV and I'm like, the only book that outsold the Lord of the Rings is the Bible. It's like,
Even Harry Potter?
dude, you couldn't get more different people from different countries in different languages who are into the Lord of the Rings than there's nothing that you could possibly do to make that even more. But the people who are, it's just that these people who say this stuff, they don't see themselves in it. So therefore, from their point of view, they don't understand that other people can just read it for what it is and enjoy it for what it is. So like when they talk about Star Wars, they always talk about how, it's not inclusive or whatever, but you've seen the video and I've seen the video of Return of the Jedi, like back in 1987, where it's a plethora of different colors and whatever going to watch this. And everybody's excited. So it's just they live in some weird world where unless the person who is like them, they don't get it. It's like, no, my favorite character is Batman. I don't need Batman to be black.
I just go back to watch back to the Hobbit, the Five Armies. I rather watch that than go to the old movie.
Yeah, dude, and that's what most people are doing. Most people are they're playing old games, watching old TV shows, reading old books. Because they're just going back to before all of this craziness. And eventually, once enough people start losing enough money, then they go, okay, all right, okay. We got to stop listening to BlackRock and all these places, and we need to get our customers back. Sounds like maybe Marvel is doing that. We'll see. There's a leaked screen thing of the Thing, and it looks just like the comic book thing. Like it's a suit. It looks like it's a giant suit, and it looks like the comic book thing. Kind of like Michael Chiklis was in Tim Story Fantastic Four, where he looked like the Thing, like from the comic a bit, except he was just in a normal size suit. So it looked like maybe other than casting Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, which but other than that, it's looking like maybe they'll stay as true to the source material as they can get. One can hope. All right, so that is our review of the first 3 episodes of Lord of the Rings, or Rings, or not Lord of the Rings,
Rings of Power,
Rings of Coincidence, because everything happens in coincidence and everyone's stupid. So he gives it a 3. I'm same. Maybe hopefully it'll get better in episode 4. All right. So you about to it's a little late, so you're probably gonna go to bed, aren't you, or something like that?
I still got stuff to do.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm looking forward to cutting my damn fan on because it's getting hot up in here. So to all you folks out there on the internet, to YouTube and on Rumble, please like, share, subscribe, follow, and all the good fun internet stuff. Thanks for watching. If you watched this whole episode, we appreciate it. And come back. We'll be back around 9 o'clock next week. And on Thursdays, we have our little video games news show too. So I would like to say you got anything that you want to add there, Rick?
Nothing. Give us a thumbs up.
All right. Later.